The Norwich Museum originally started in the 1820s as a private collection. The collections rapidly grew and left a need for a larger site. A local architect, Edward Boardman, was chosen to convert the prison into a museum. For the Victorian age in the 1890s, it was a cutting-edge museum. That's the sort of thing that has dated, inevitably, over the last 140 years, and so we found ourselves in the position of really needing to recreate the museum again while respecting Boardman's architecture. The floor level that we're on at the moment is the original floor level Boardman had put most of his museum displays into. But in opening up that floor of Boardman's, you can finally see the original full height of the basement. So I hope that we've made the best of the new while preserving the best of the old as well.
The British Museum has a relationship with Norwich Castle and Norfolk Museums Services that goes back almost 20 years. And the number of projects that we've worked on together has meant that there is a real synergy between the teams in our lending departments and the teams here.
We were able to talk to colleagues at the BM, in particular Naomi Speakman, and develop the ideas for the stories we wanted to tell and the objects that we wanted to put in.
It's a real privilege to be able to work with the medieval collection in Norwich because it's one of the best in the country. What we've been doing has been to look at the collection up in Norwich, to look at the collection here, think about the connections between objects in both, what we could show together, what new stories we could tell, how they complement each other. So for example, today we've been looking at some Gothic ivory carvings, and that's one area where the British Museum can really work with the collection up in Norwich. I think people often think of the Renaissance as the time when people in Europe were reconnecting with their classical past. Yeah. That's not the case. Yeah. And these two objects are such great evidence for the fact that medieval people were fully aware and connected with the classical world, and these show these classical stories brought to life in a beautiful engraving.
Having that awareness of the classical world and the Romanesque period, the Norman rulers seeing themselves as new Romans, that's precisely the story that's being got across with the keep, with all of its fantastic arcading, creating a new Rome. It might be a surprise to some people to learn that Norwich Castle and East Anglia was so wealthy in the medieval period, and that in turn meant that there was a large population that were making, commissioning, using, throwing away or losing their objects. We're the recipients of those discoveries through archaeological excavation and through metal detecting. We have an incredible collection that has come to the museum. We have an incredible inheritance that has come to us over the centuries. There's always new and exciting finds coming up that are telling us new things that we didn't know before, and that in turn means that we can put those new stories into our display cases and bring them to the public. We've been working on the gallery space for the last 10 years. It's actually a really long, involved process. Our conservators and the mount makers have been working on the objects, in some cases for years. All of those things mean that the installation of the gallery took 3 months.
One of the first things I thought when I walked into the space was just the range and wealth of objects on display. It's easy for one to think that objects from a medieval period may be more simplistic compared to things from the Renaissance or from later periods. Absolutely not the case at all. One of the benefits of a collection of the size of the British Museum is that one of the things that we can do for our partnership galleries is fill in gaps and fill in blanks where the regional collections may not have quite the full story.
The stories that we can then tell by pulling our things and their things together is really fascinating, and it's a wonderful opportunity that we've been able to take.
Norwich Castle Keep was, and indeed is, one of the most important Norman buildings in the country. And that's hugely exciting for everyone at the British Museum because we have this beautiful museum, but of course it's not a medieval building. So that opportunity to show medieval objects in a medieval setting is wonderful.
Seeing the objects against the backdrop of the Norman architecture, again, it just feels fitting. It feels like they're home and in a place where they belong.
I think that the star object, if you like, in the whole gallery is the castle itself.